Hello, good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, wherever your part of the world is. There is some couple of changes here. Fleet Admiral Parmley can't be here today. His kidney stones are acting up. Maybe that was a little too much information, but he's under the weather. And starting today, there's only going to be one AMA a month. No more stateside and international members. It's all going to be together on Saturday. So that's why we have a mixed bag today. Mixed bag, a diverse group. That sounds better, doesn't it? So with us right now we have the VCS of Starfleet, James Herring. It's your first time with us in video as well as audio, isn't it, James?
Yeah, this time. Last time it was just audio. Now everybody can see.
Right. And then our Chief of Communications, Jeffrey Higdon. Vice Admiral Owen Swart, the Region 8 RC and the CEO of the Dauntless, my second favorite ship.
Ooh, watch it.
And well, I'm biased. And then Captain Maria Dutilly, she is the CEO of the Stella Pirata, and we have an interesting video to show from her later. And let's see, Fleet Captain Dona Rozelle, who has a whole list here of things. Oh, Maria is also Region 7 Awards Director.
Yes.
Donna's the CEO of the Moebius in Region 1. She's the DOIC of the 1st Brigade, OIC of the 4th Battalion, OIC of the 147th MSG, and is on the FORCECOM Awards team.
Any more titles, Donna? Any more?
I'd hate to make your business card. So, and of course, James is also the CEO of his own ship. It is the USS Missouri in Region 12. So welcome, everyone, and let's get started with some questions. Post me some questions, people. Or is there anything anybody would like to share while we wait?
Well, actually, yes, actually I do. It's unfortunate Steve isn't here. I was going to give this to him. He got awarded the Grand Kite Order of Tactics First Class for putting on the barbecue down in Paducah.
Congratulations.
That was something that I wanted to make sure he got recognized for. So if he hadn't been here, I mean, I'll send him the certificate now, but I was going to surprise him. So.
Well, congratulations, sir.
That was a fun barbecue. I mean, it was so nice to see people, even though I've seen them on screen. Mm-hmm. It was nice to see him and meet in person. I got to meet Donna that day. James, I walked right by, didn't even recognize him. And I stupidly said, "You look different." And he goes, "Well, you do too." So
yeah.
I felt so
I just want to say hi to John Hardy. Hey, British Vampire. He's in the chat room.
Hey, John. Yeah, he's going to be here in September.
Yep.
I can always count on him to show up. Mm-hmm. And Richard's going to be here in just a little while, the CEO of Region 20. I mean, the RC of Region 20. He is stuck. There's train delays there in England. London, I guess, is where he's at.
Well, Kim,
the CEO, Maria, is a SS.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
What's the SS?
I have no idea.
Superstar.
Yeah, and hopefully not his ass.
Yeah, I know. Say, hey, thanks. Man, one of my haters. Hi.
Yeah.
You're a pirate ship. I mean, it's the Star Pirates is what your name of your ship is.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, there's Ian from the Alba.
Yeah.
I'm doing fine, Fran. I'm glad the week's over. It's been hectic. Everybody else had a good week of our panel here?
Oh, yeah.
Yep, pretty good.
The kittens of strangeness are all Marines.
Oh,
look at that baby.
Oh, there's the Tribble Whisperer. Anthony, I got to see some of your creations at the barbecue, and they were very nice.
Yes, they were. Now, Kim, I'm looking for the interviews from the barbecue, too.
I gave them all to Ed.
Okay.
And it was aired on Starfleet at Large.
Yes.
Oh, shout out to my XO, Amy.
Yes, she's
Hey.
congratulating you because Maria got CO of the Year for Fleet.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Oh, I tell you, when I won that, because I shared the video because I recorded it as the IC was, the announcement was going on, and that was genuine shock. And yes, I did cry. I even Bob Vossler. I saw you on Zoom. You were crying. I was like, yes, I was. So I'm very appreciative of that award. Very appreciative. So,
Well deserved.
yep.
Yeah, when we got Ship of the Year last year, I cried. Russell said, "Don't start crying," so that just made it worse. When you unexpected, especially,
Right.
But you see, After Dark showed it last night, and I also sent Steve one of the tug of war videos, and he played it.
I haven't seen those yet. I was doing the tug of war, but Mike was like, I don't think anyone there is. He said there wasn't enough anchor on our side. not
Really?
to say bad about her, James.
Really,
but,
Donna. I've been trying to lose that anchor. Very much.
I would have thought Jim would make a good anchor.
I will tell you this. I think I shared this the last time, Kim. My Monster Maroon uniform about 3 years ago was not fitting. I had just okay, I've outgrown it. Well, I gave up soda, lost weight, and I'm thinking, I wonder if I can fit into that again. So this uniform, which is over 30 years old, I had to actually have the pants taken in and everything else, and I can wear my Monster Maroon again. I had gone from a 56-inch waist down to a 44.
Isn't that the best feeling?
Oh, yeah.
Nicely done.
And it proved it, and that uniform now fits me even looser than it did. Well, the pants fit loose with the jacket, unfortunately, with the snap still pop, but it fits me better. So,
IC 2000, I wore one of the prettiest dresses I'd ever owned, and my goal was to get in that again for IC 2020. Of course, we didn't have it, but I did get in it. But so if we ever have an IC again that I get to go to, I'm wearing that dress. Of course, my body's changed shaped a lot. But that was a good IC, though. It was in Burlington, Vermont. Small place, but the hotel was wonderful. The staff was so nice, and the food was actually good at the banquet, which is unusual. No rubber chicken. So, but anyway, we've got people here today from Ireland.
Awesome.
Region 15 is going to be getting Hurricane Henry. Ooh.
Yikes.
Y'all stay safe. I am not happy. That would scare me. Fire scares me more, but a storm like that. Ooh. Okay, Ed Tunis, one of my bosses, is uploading the video from the picnic. Yeah, it was hard getting those interviews because as soon as I'd start one, somebody would yell that they were starting some event or something, and trying to catch everybody. And I remember it was toward the end of the day when I got James.
All right.
And by that night, we went to, where did we go eat, James?
We went to, why did you ask me? I don't know.
Applebee's.
Applebee's.
I was so tired I couldn't even hardly talk.
Wasn't it like one long table?
And I wanted to talk and have fun, and I was just so tired. And I told Tom, I said, I'm being a wet blanket. Take me back to the hotel. Because it was nice talking to everybody. Charles Grew was there with his son, and James and his new wife.
He just went into the Army.
Yes. That I think, we ought to send him letters when he can get them, like everybody that can. Just make him like our pet project. That'd be nice.
One thing I liked about I'm sorry, go ahead, Kim.
No, I just said I think it'd be fun sending goodies.
I just want to say that one thing I did enjoy about the barbecue was having the Facebook Live, because I like to tune in and check out to see whatever's going on in Kentucky. So I thought that was a nice feature.
Okay, here is from the barbecue. Here we go. Good morning. We're here at the Bob Noble Park for the Fleet Admirals Barbecue, and this is our first interview.
I want to say, I have it on my car.
Yeah. 2 days. The first night, 9 hours.
Oh my goodness.
But we came from Cincinnati, farther than Cincinnati, almost to Dayton, and
in Texas.
Went all the way through Louisville and all the way down here to Paducah. Right. And it took us approximately 7 hours because there was an accident.
It's about 6.5 hours. I live in Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay.
Well, 2 accidents that took us about 45 minutes each in there. So usually it's about a 5-hour drive at about 70.
We decided we're going to turn this into a road trip, 12 hours. I'm not doing it in one clip. I'm the only one driving the clown car. Thank you very much.
So I would have to say 5 times 70. We were about 350 to about 400 miles.
It's nothing to sneeze at.
Maybe a little more.
Oh, yeah. We went to the Mammoth Caves.
Oh, that's...
We see Pete's Reptile Farm. We're stopping at the Reptile Farm.
Always, anywhere I go, I have a good time.
I think Ed did a good job putting my mess together.
Good job. Blatant silliness. We still have more of these wonderful First Brigade challenge coins left. So just let me know if you're still interested.
And the auction went well. I don't remember how much money it raised, but
$575.
That's good. It goes to the scholarship fund, right?
That I don't know. That's what goes to Steve. Steve decides. If I don't know if it goes to a scholarship or what. But we raised a lot, and I was very happy with that.
And those cookies were good too. I ate one I wasn't supposed to, but yeah, I did. And I didn't get sick, but yeah, and it was a nice park. It took us longer to get home than going there because of traffic and access. Yep, look at your Jeff's coin. I was pleased at the things people sent in to be donated, to be auctioned. A funny thing was, James donated a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
And his wife was bidding on it. And he goes, "Do I have to buy this twice?" I remember.
All right. And I found out she really likes Wharf and wrestling, which
yes,
I didn't know that. So.
He would hold something up and her hand would go up, you know. But yeah, we ended up with that bottle. It's empty now, I think. but Steve and James autographed it. I didn't get any of it though. But it was nice. People sent some really nice things. So
it was.
Was it during the barbecue?
Mm-hmm.
After?
Oh, you mean the drinking it part? No, he waited till we got home.
Oh, okay.
And
I left like I was there Friday night into Saturday, and then I left on Saturday.
right. I tell you the funniest line I heard that day, because we were supposed to have an event so that people would need to change clothes, and I brought one of those pop-up changing rooms like for camping and stuff, and it's blue. Donna gets in it and she's walking around with it going, look, I'm a TARDIS.
Yep.
Only Donna.
It was angly, so we had to like get like. And the funny thing was, after we got it in the spot, and you start putting the pieces down on the bottom, the steaks. Like when we were doing other things, Mike looked at it. No, that's my XO is Mike Bergio, and he looked at it and said, "That's not right." And he picked it all up and put it another 5 feet away onto level ground.
Yeah. And then we ended up not really using it, but yeah. James, don't you have an event coming up this fall or close to fall, winter?
Well, we are working on doing a possible fleet Christmas party, but it may be pushed to January because it seems everybody is doing things in December, and we want people to spend time with their families. But my wife, who is a relatively new member, is very excited and wanting to do things. So we're seeing if we can do a Christmas party, but it may be in January. Well, at least things will have died down, and hopefully we can get a lot of good people coming to that too, and maybe have an auction, and who knows what other kind of fun things both my wife and I are experienced in pulling things that people have fun with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could come in January most likely. So
Good.
It sounds fun. And I've never been to your city.
You too, Donna. I'll hold you to it.
I
know you can't make it, but you're invited. Everybody's invited. It's going to hopefully be a fleet event. And, Kansas City is relatively central to a lot of different regions, so hopefully we'll have a good one. And it will be, I can promise, it will be announced. It will be events and everything going. If we don't feel we can pull it off, we definitely won't do it. But we're going to have some fun. Like I said, we always have fun.
That's the best thing, having fun and laughing, getting to laugh.
And in person. Mm-hmm. That's another big thing.
Donna,
Maria, I was just going to ask Maria, the 7th Brigade, you're doing the western side. You still doing that in this fall?
Yes.
7 hours. And I'm 7 hours, James.
Yeah. So like on 6, can I go ahead and just kind of introduce Kim?
You go ahead, then I'll do the video.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I made this video to introduce the Western Regional Summit. The Stella Pirata, we are on the westernmost front of Region 7, and I got my patch. We're proud members of Region 7, wearing my patch. And
I got a point from you guys.
Yeah, awesome. And so we're doing what's called the Western Regional Summit because for the Pittsburgh chapters, we're kind of far away from the rest of Region 7. We're like a good 5 hours away at least. So we started this event to like get closer with Region 7. So we created this event last year. It's a hybrid. It's going to be, you can attend on Zoom or you can attend in person. It's at White Oak Park, September 25th. That's like the most eastern part of Pittsburgh. So you don't even have to drive into Pittsburgh if you don't need to. So I made this video. I'm stuttering a little bit because I was up until 4 a.m. finishing this video. So
okay, well,
let's play this video. I hope you all enjoy it.
Okay. Here we go.
Where's me rum?
Well done.
Thank you so much.
It looks like Q was advertising for you.
Yeah. I really enjoy making that video. And what's great about this Western Regional Summit, because last year I only had 5 weeks to put it together. And what's great about this year is we have representation for panels from every single state in Region 7. Every single state. We got New York, the Botanic is giving RC Wayne is giving a presentation. We got the VRC. We got Bob from the Challenger in Jersey. He's giving a presentation. And we got the Solstice, our next door neighbor ship here in Pittsburgh giving a presentation. Got the Catherine Johnson, Merlin ship giving a presentation. It's going to be a great time. Everybody's invited. You can attend on Zoom, like I said. And it's September 25th, or you can come in person. But just let me know if you're going to come in person. We want to keep a head count. So.
What time on September 25th?
It is from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m.
6.5 hours away.
Yes, 6.5 hours. Come on, Kim. Come on down.
Well, we'll have to talk to the boss. He was hesitant for Kentucky.
Right.
But it was, that was a beautiful drive, though.
Oh,
from
yeah.
where I live.
Hey, Donna, if you want to come on over to Region 7 and hang out for a few, it's only a few-hour drive for you.
Yeah, it's not that far. It's only like 3 hours to like Cleveland or something like that. So it's probably 4.5 for me.
Somewhere around there. Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that.
If I don't go then, I'll come in the spring.
Yeah.
Okay. I might be working the Ohio Renaissance Festival every weekend this year.
Oh, I miss going to Ren fairs.
Oh my gosh, I am too. And I decided after the barbecue I needed to do something interesting in a job market kind of thing. And I was like, I have my regular job, but I thought that would be really fun to do.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah. So, but I think that I've got it might be every weekend that I have to go. So I'm kind of like booked until the end of October, like Halloween, which is kind of sad. But
Owen, I know it's wintertime for you down there, but are things calming down with COVID and you're all able to get out more and do things?
Unfortunately not. We're in the middle of a third wave at the moment, so our lockdown has been escalated once more.
Yeah.
So we're just riding that out at the moment. So it'll be a couple more months probably until things start easing off again. Hopefully we can start getting things going again by the spring.
I hope so. I saw that some scenes from that Las Vegas thing that happened, the big convention, and a lot of Star Trek people canceled. If I'd have paid to go and see that and all them gone, I would have been so disappointed.
Hey, Kim, I want to mention something real quick. Sure. My EXO made me aware of this. The summit is also co-sponsored by the USS Venture. Sorry, guys. I'm running on just a couple hours of sleep. But Venture and the Pirata are working together to bring this make it possible. So shout out to Venture.
Nice.
Thanks, Amy.
Not to be annoying, but I did notice that someone had posted, I believe Margaret had posted about Mike Hennigan in the comments. If you want to look at
I didn't see that. Yeah. Mike Hennigan went.
Margaret Grunwell. Grunwell.
Oh, Margaret said that. Let's see. Mike
I remember
Hennigan,
seeing something about that last night.
Aww.
His sister posted. Mike is positive. Oh, he's in Region 2, I think, isn't he?
I think so.
Yeah.
And so,
Atlanta area, I believe.
Mm-hmm. I met him when we were in Region 2.
Mm.
It's awful. My
That's
cousin had been
When you get
vaccinated,
moved,
and
yeah.
he got it still, nearly died.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I want to thank everybody in the comment section about the nice comments to the video. Thank you, guys. I greatly appreciate it.
Okay. That's true.
Mm-hmm. It's very true.
I have a group that I try to contact once a week. Say, this is your annoying mother. Just checking on you, making sure you're okay.
Oh, and someone asked about the cookies since we brought them. My wife has a friend that she said, well, can you make any Star Trek cookies? So we want to bring something. And that's where they came from. And so I have to do a shameless plug. If someone's interested, give me a call. I assume she'll ship them. I don't know what it'll be or cost, but put them in contact with y'all, and the rest is up to you.
Because they made the cookies for your wedding too, didn't they?
They most certainly did.
They were good. They were very soft and airy and chewy and
yeah.
nice flavor.
Very addictive. I can promise you that.
Oh, okay. Mary said that Kelly said that Mike's doing fairly well. Oof. We've lost too many people. We don't need to lose more.
Hey, Donnie.
Hello.
Good to meet you.
Oh, and since Margaret is posting that, she's also in charge of our postcard exchange. I handed that off to her. And for those of you who don't know, for people who want to send a old-fashioned postcard, if you're interested, you must send her your name, address, and let her know that, yes, you know that it will be on a list that will be published. That way you're approving, just like with GDPR, we have to be careful. But if you want to get a postcard from anybody, and actually my wife is sending up postcards, she enjoys that too. So I wanted to put a blatant plug for that. It's fun if people are getting postcards.
It is fun. And I need to get some new ones made for the Yorktown.
And you can even send virtual. I mean, a lot of people, because some people trying to send even something across seas get expensive, but that can fit in with checking in for other people. Send them a virtual postcard. I mean, just touch base with people. So.
Yeah, I like getting them because I got some from France and from England and different places, and it was nice.
Mm-hmm. Let's hope there, Jerry. Let us do hope on that.
That could be Greek to me. I have no idea what that is. Is that football?
Kansas City Chiefs.
Chiefs?
Yeah, Chiefs.
Have a little bit of, there's a game called the Super Bowl. I know it's a little game, but you don't have heard of it.
Well, there's also, if anyone wants to come out to the Cincinnati area, we can go see some soccer.
Okay, Margaret says we also have e-cards. What I did, I went and got to the post office and got a bunch of postcard stamps, and I think they were like 14 cents, and I used those.
That's cool.
I need to get some more made. I want to get a flag made for the car that you put up at the window. Oh, I'll tell you something that was cool. Kathy Peck and her husband, Ryan, they came to the barbecue and they were handing out trading cards. You remember in the 90s when Star Trek Next Generation had trading cards?
Oh, yes.
I've got the whole set. Well, and I found a place online that did it, but they had made with them dressed up with a Trek background. And so they made their own trading cards. And I wish I had one downstairs to show. They were awesome. So they were handing those out with information about their ship and stuff. They were like the most gung-ho Trek couple I know.
Yeah.
They go to
Like,
every event. They cosplay. They were at Las Vegas. They went when Janeway's statue was unveiled. And they sat and talked with us while we were doing the trivia contest. Shameless plug for me. I won first place in the trivia.
Nice.
It was fun. Got my little trophy. That picture of me with the trophy, Steve photobombed it, but I didn't care. But it was funny.
Right.
And Steve and I won first place for the beanbag toss.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
There you go.
Good.
what on earth is going on?
Oh, and also for those who don't know, we do have these are window clings. I know they were shown at the picnic. They're $5. If you want some, if you buy, I think it's 4 or 5, you'll get an extra one for free. You have interest, give me, drop me a line or contact Linda. She has the majority of them, but I have still some from the picnic. So you can put them on your car or anything else. They stick. And I had one on for a while in my car and no loss of color. So.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Margaret.
They're good for the back of laptops, the back
Yep.
of chairs,
You can
and the
stick
back
them
of
anywhere.
cars, like he said.
When I bought those in the auction, or one, and I've got to send them to the crew. I've got to put one in our car. My dad just finally noticed that my license plate has a frame around it that says I'm a Trekkie, and he goes, "What's I'm a Trekkie?" And I said, "It means your daughter's a nerd."
Hey,
Like science fiction.
My wife is even considering putting one on her car, and she doesn't put anything on her car. So.
Yeah, I won't get Tom to put it on our joint car, but on the old blue that I drive around, it'll go on that. I used to have a Starfleet, the medical logo, you know, from the movies. I had that on the side of my car, and this woman told me I was impersonating a doctor. And I said, it's not a real Caduceus. You can tell it's futuristic. It's Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Some people.
Sorry. I ended up having an interesting license plate that has something to do with Dr. McCoy on it, but it looks like it's funny. And,
I love him. That character.
He's great. I think he's great in different iterations. Like I liked him in the reboot. I liked Carl Urban as.
Oh yeah, he
good.
was like he was channeling him. He did such a good job. I think he did the best out of all of them, playing the old characters. Plus, he's cute. Well, he is.
Tribble, sorry, guys.
Oh, the precious baby. Oh, does that have a streak of white?
What's his name?
Pure
What's his
orange.
name, Donna?
Yeah.
No.
This one, I have not named any of them because they're going away in about 2 to 3 days.
Oh, so yeah, you don't want to bond with them. Yeah.
Yeah. We have
I think I know
Smalls.
you a little age.
Poor Smalls. He's feeling a little left out from the Marine side. He's on the Starfleet side.
Oh, okay.
Oh, how cute.
Oh, cute.
And then there's one named Blue, which is he's like twice the size of Smalls. He's like a Maine Coon kitten. Sorry.
I just had to bring up my boy. Hi,
Nice.
this is cute. I named him after my favorite Star Trek character. Yeah, and you're about ready to beat me, aren't you? All right, I'll put him down. I just had to show. Donna was showing her precious fur babies. I got to share mine. Yeah.
Mine is actually here too. If you look up here, let me try and point.
I'm putting you
there.
Oh.
That shape there, that's my cat.
Yeah.
Oh, I
There he
see his
is.
ears.
Here he is.
This is
There's his ear.
ears.
Yeah, you can see him. That's him.
Aw.
Aw.
He's not allowed up there, but that doesn't stop him.
No.
Of course, he's a cat.
I know that
Now, all
feeling.
the fur babies in Pet Fleet, have you put them in Pet Fleet?
Oh yeah, I
I
put him in Pet Fleet. And talking about Pet Fleet, Bob Vossler and I, we are creating a show for Pet Fleet.
Good.
So we're going to be doing interviews. If people are interested in participating in that show, we're getting things together. And also, like, if you know of any shelters who are in need of like getting some exposure about like they're in need of stuff, let us know. So it's going to be Bob and I who are going to be running that show. So
Good.
yeah.
Yes, my wife put our fish in the Pet Fleet.
Oh, nice.
Like
Yeah,
said,
I
yes.
like Pet Fleet. We've got Finn in it. So, does anybody have any questions here for our illustrious
Yeah.
guest today? Come on. And you can ask them anything, remember.
Anything at all.
Doesn't mean we'll
polite.
answer, but you can ask.
Ask me anything you like about cheetahs. We'll be here all night.
Aw.
One last plug I'd like to put in before questions go in.
Okay.
James, did you want to talk about it? You brought it up with the barbecue.
Okay, well, I'll start and you pick up.
Okay, I'll finish.
One of the things that I've been kicking around for a while, and I think I even mentioned this to you, Kim, and a few others, was trying to get a book together all over Fleet A lot of our international members thought that was a great idea because they want to share recipes, and I think that's a great idea because I like to cook myself. My wife likes to cook, so I found someone who was as crazy as I was to actually take on this joint venture. Of course, I have so much free time with all the different departments and everything else that I'm doing. So I talked to Dona, and she thought it was a great idea. And I'm like, well, you volunteered to do it. So now I will turn the specifics over to her. But one thing I'll mention, the cookbook idea, whatever money we raise, this is for Fleet, to go back into Fleet. It is a fundraiser thing. A lot of churches do it and everything else. I don't think Fleet has ever done it. So if you have recipes or something you're interested in, contact Dona. We said no more than 3 recipes per person. If by some chance she gets,
an idea
avalanche of recipes, maybe we'll do 2. But we're just trying to see if this is even a thing that will work. So Dona, I'm now going to turn it over to you.
So I thought a lot about that 3 recipe thing, and I'm hoping that we get a lot of people turning in recipes. And what I'm thinking is that even if you send in 5 or 10 recipes, we'll pick out 3 recipes for right now, and all the recipes that get turned in per region, we could send back to some designated person in that region so that they might be able to do something with the other recipes.
Do you have a name for it yet?
Not yet.
I think Bake It So.
Not yet.
Bake it
so.
Yeah, make it so.
Bake it so.
Make it so.
Well, one of the things, and this is one of the main things, I'm trying to find out, and this is what's kind of stymied, is if we did a physical cookbook, trying to get anything overseas is going to be very cost prohibitive. I kicked it around with Dona, and we would like to try and find a way to make it electronically. That way, if you want it, you send it in, we'll send you the PDF or whatever. My wife was amazed. She was amazed. People were very honest at the auction and everything else. And I said, Fleet is very honest. If they buy something, they're gonna pick it up. And I think the same thing would happen with an e-version of a cookbook, because this is one of the things I've always been very passionate about is everybody in Fleet, whether you're in the USA, Europe, South Africa, you're part of Starfleet, you want to participate. I want to include you as much as I can for the fun. This is one of the main things I've always said about Fleet is we do it for the fun. Yeah. And for someone who is over in England, like I said, to send anything there, it's $20 postage alone. I do not want to have our members go broke for that. Internet, if we can send it like that, again, I know that also we have to be careful because of the size and there's a lot of logistics and everything else. But first off, I need to see if the idea is a good one, if people will participate, and if so, how much you're going to participate too. Dona and I, we've talked about it. She will be our main point of contact just because, again, I have so much free time, and I want to thank Dona for taking this on. But contact her. We want to get this out, and hopefully, if this works, would be around Christmas, maybe.
Nice.
I don't know.
Probably going to be later than Christmas for some reason, because sometimes it takes a little while to get stuff done.
Yeah. So, but the point is, this is something that I wanted to do. Whatever money we can get, Margaret, I don't know where it would go. I mean, we can put it with Fleet and everything else. We've got to see how it goes. It could go for the scholarship. It could go for a lot of things. First off, I got to see if this thing will fly. And again, I want to thank Dona for undertaking it. So if you have like recipes or something or anything else, contact her. I'm sure we can throw her contact info up to do this. It seems like Bake It So seems to be very popular, so we'll call it Bake It So. So there we go. We have a name for it.
Let's check to make sure that's not a copyrighted, like somebody hasn't already taken that.
Oh, that's a good point. we have to be careful.
That's a good idea.
So,
but I am looking for a few people. I've got a couple people that I want to work with. That's great. That is awesome. Who did that? And
I did.
That's
awesome. That's
All right.
great.
When I did the Region 1 newsletter, worked on that, I'd have a column called Bake It So, and I put a recipe each time.
See, that's already used. So I don't know. We'll see if she allows it, or
we have to work. We have to work through the compliance and everything else, and making sure we're not stepping on anyone's toes.
But I mean, I made the design. I mean, I just took a Delta and stuck that baker's hat in the middle and the whisk. But
we have to make. We'll check with Dennis. One of the things is there are a lot of different categories too for the people who are interested. Appetizers, main dishes, desserts. At one time, I know Region 12 was thinking of having a mixed drink for the adults. I don't think that would quite work for this one yet. Let's just keep it within food. But if you've got a dessert or an appetizer or a main dish, like I said, I would love to see a lot of our internationals because to me, well, you can tell I've lost the weight, but I still like to eat, and everybody else does too.
Oh yeah.
We would recognize it by name and ship. We're not going to put your rank because ranks fluctuate. But this way maybe it's a point of pride for the different ships too. How much can we do or anything else?
I think stuff from other countries would be great. Different regions.
That's why, I mean, we do this, and again, I'm turning it over to Dona. I tried and everything else, and I just don't have the time, or I'd have done it sooner. And again, I can't thank Dona enough for doing this, but contact her, send it to her. She will work it out, and if we can get it done, like anything else, because I don't know if anybody's ever done any recipes. When you send it in, it's still yours, but it becomes the property of whoever's doing it to get it done. There's a whole big mess on that too. We're just a small group. We're trying to raise some money and, again, get everybody to have fun and involved. I don't know. I don't think it should be. I don't think I have to worry about a copyright thing, but you understand, just like the GDPR, if you send it in, other people are going to see it. They're going to see your name and the ship, not necessarily your contact info, but, we're trying to make it as easy and simple as possible. And again, Dona, thank you. I'm glad I ran into you at the barbecue.
We have a question from Ian here. There's nobody from the academy, but maybe James, you might know this.
Can I just finish one last thing? Look for contact, and then if you're interested and are international and are interested in working on with a small group of people on making the recipes internationally able to be made, let me know. All right. Sorry. That was the end.
To answer that question, Ian, that is going to be, I've seen when I was working with the academy, when I had some schools there, it's up to the director or the person who's giving the test what you missed. I mean, I usually ask, what do I miss? And they'll say, well, you missed question 3. They're not necessarily going to tell you what the answer is, obviously, but they're going to say, okay, this is a question you missed, and like true or false, obviously you're going to figure that out. But if it's multiple choice, they're not going to say, well, it was number B and you had C, because it could get out. That would be a way of giving tests out and everything else. And it is going to be for each individual director, I think. At least that's what I found. I always ask what it is. And they'll usually ask you, if you send them an email and say, hey, which questions did I miss? They'll probably tell you, okay, you missed 1, 5, and 7.
And the Moodle itself, on it, if you look, it will give you the answers after you've taken the test, even if you are eligible to take the test. So just look for that section in there. But when it comes to things like OCC or OTS, those are done separately, so they can't very well display the answers like they can do on the Moodle. So they can let you know, like Jim said. Well, Jim's over here, and but because you can retake the test, they're not going to tell you the answer. I mean, that would be plain. Right. They want you to find the answer. It isn't the answer you're given, so which one of the others isn't? So that's all you need to find out. So.
Oh, and again, just touching back on the recipe thing, this would also be a good way for ships to, help out with membership. If they, hey, we have a cookbook too and everything else. We're trying to get as much advertising as possible. We're trying to get as much exposure, and a cookbook I thought would be a good thing because, like I said, being from Missouri, all the small churches around, at least once or twice, once a year, probably have a cookbook. They have a bake sale or something. They have in a cookbook for like $10 or $20, and that's the other thing. Whatever we do, I definitely want to make sure it isn't going to cost our members arm and a leg to get it to them. So that was something I was working on. And someone had asked actually on a Facebook post, are we doing any other advertising? And then one thing I am working on, and I'm waiting for the compliance to go through, is putting some ads on some sci-fi websites. People say, well, why don't we have an advertising campaign? Well, everything costs money. We're going to do on 2 to 3 websites. We're probably slotting either around December or first of the year, and they'll be on have one of our ads for about 3 months on their websites because they're not cheap. But as part of advertising and marketing that's falls under the VCS office, I do feel we should do something where people say, well, what about going to conventions and Comic-Con and this? Everything costs money. Yes, I know what the 501st do at a Comic-Con. I know what other ones do. We're doing what we can. We're doing, as much exposure as we can. A lot of ships do more. They do buy ads and program books. They do go to conventions. That's great. Continue it, please. Some ships, that's how they get, big numbers. For fleet as a whole, this is what I'm trying to do. So, or what I hope we're working on toward.
Yeah, Mike McGowan asked a question. I think both of us can answer. It had to do with the cookbook. Did Region 12 do a cookbook? I don't recall. I recall the drinking.
Yeah, recipe. The bartender guide, I recall. I don't think there was ever a real cookbook. Now, Donna, that's going to be something you're going to have to answer from Amy on that one.
Mm-hmm.
But that is a good question. That's a very good question. I mean, one that I had not even thought of.
Well, no, that's why I was trying to say at the end when I was like, let me just say one more thing. So, my plan is like I'm going to be spearheading it, but I want to make sure that we have a committee together from people of different areas because sometimes you have to change conversion. You have to convert a recipe for different things. So I would say do the one that is of your country, and if it's in maybe or your region, and just it'll have your name and your chapter or non-chapter, and then your region, and then the committee will change it, give you 2 sets of information or 3 sets depending on where you are, depending on.
I've seen some recipes that would have cup and then a slash and then the other measurement beside it.
Yeah, and then so we're going to do a committee kind of thing, and if you're interested, I'm getting a Facebook group right now together so that it can be posted on here, so you can join it.
Nice. As somebody who sometimes follows international recipes online, the 2 things that I frequently come across is, yes, the measurement units. So if possible, I would ask, please convert to metric and imperial, just to have them both. And then the other thing is name brands. So things like if there's a particular kind of cookie that gets ground up into the recipe or something like that, we don't necessarily have those cookies here. So then I have to Google and figure out what kind of cookie is this and find out if there's an alternative. So if you can come up with a generic name for the thing, that would be ideal.
I had never thought of that about that, Owen. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah,
exactly. Good call.
Thank you.
Owen's significant other cooks a lot, and they'll post pictures of stuff she cooks, and you gain 5 pounds just by opening the post.
We've eaten half a lemon meringue pie today, so it's fresh on my mind.
Well, I can promise you, I will be submitting at least 3 recipes myself. I think my wife's going to do it. She actually said, "Well, you need to submit that your salad recipe or this recipe or that recipe. I'm like, okay, so you'll be seeing at least 3 from me in there, and I'll be sending to Donna. So I do like to cook, and I will be sending some. And and I hope you'll send some. I hope Maria, Jeff,
Have some ideas.
Everybody.
Well,
please.
my recipes are simple. Like, take a can of tomato sauce or spaghetti sauce, pour it over
Ounces.
the chopped hamburger, and then boil the spaghetti in it. There.
Well,
over
Jeff,
much pasta.
One of the things, and talking about this, and I'm going to embarrass my wife on this, and hopefully she's watching. When we got together, and I was talking about, well, I used to eat ramen noodles. I think everybody at one time has had to eat ramen noodles. Well, I said, well, ramen noodles is great. All you need to do is cut up some hot dogs and put them in there. And man, that was a very adverse reaction. And she's like, I don't even want to hear about it. She's like, I will go hungry before I eat little cut up hot dogs and ramen.
Yes.
I said, and then I got her and said, and tomato sauce instead of water, it's either like, go away. Put that recipe in, don't worry.
I'm going to send in stuffed peppers.
Cool.
I like that.
I love stuffed peppers.
I like cream.
Yourself to 3 recipes.
Mm-hmm.
Let us limit the recipes. So that way, if we don't get, like, if we go, okay, we got 100 recipes for something, we don't have to, and you've only said in these recipes, we can put a different recipe you have in for something that we don't have.
Right.
You know what I
There
mean?
you go. Listen to Donna. She's there to put as many recipes as you want, then.
It doesn't necessarily need to be Trek. I mean, something universal.
Whatever, and like, we're not putting doc or whatever. I mean, we're not. These are real recipes. This is the recipes that you would want to make for your friends or for your ship. You could have a ship dinner of recipes you find in the cookbook. So,
but a picture of the product would be excellently accepted at the end. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is the recipe. What does it look like, or what is?
Pictures would be
What's
good.
it supposed to look like?
And Margaret has a good point. Vegetarian. There should be some vegetarian in there too.
Oh, there will be.
There'll be that. So yeah, I mean, we're not going to limit anything. There will be
gluten free.
There will be meat and vegetarian. And Donna, that's a very good. Thank you again. A picture would be fantastic too. Donna, that's great.
I like recipes, and we have a Klingon head chef who loves to do outdoor stuff. So he wants to put in some stuff with Dutch oven cooking,
air fryer
stuff, because barbecues.
That's
yeah. There's a lot of different things that you can have. I mean, that's why I said don't limit yourself to 3, because we'll just find the ones that work. So it's not like really overly, oh my gosh, there's 300 recipes for how to do the best spaghetti ever, you know, or ramen noodle. So I'm not the only one talking.
And even if it's from another cookbook, it's something you've tried yourself. You know it can be done, and you liked it.
At least one thing from a straight cookbook.
So anybody, please get a hold of Donna, and I hope this will work. I mean,
I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Well, I think that I wanted something. I couldn't think of anything else. We all need to be united, and food and drink obviously seems to work. So.
Mm-hmm. This is just a random thought I thought of for the cookbook. Why don't you have like a section of it, like, favorite regional, like region 7, region 8, 9, like a favorite dish, like they can vote amongst themselves and then like submit like a favorite regional dish. I don't know. I was just thinking hey, like we really like this out here.
And if we're going to do like a yearly thing, that would probably go over.
Well, first one, the best thing, we just got to get one done first.
Yeah.
All of these are great ideas. I know Donna's probably taking massive amounts of notes. We just need to get this done. That's why whoever sees it, get a hold of Donna, send her your stuff, 3, 50, 100 recipes. They'll sort through them. I'm just glad that people actually like it, because there's a lot of times things sound better in my head than when I say it. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, and we're going to have the committee is also going to look through recipes and go, is this something, You know, is it something that's doable for most people? Is this really difficult? Is this really expensive? Things like that. So if you think it's expensive or you think it's more difficult, when you submit your recipe, say, hey, this is a more higher difficulty than, say, something else.
And that also could be noted in the recipe. This is a simple recipe. This is a medium recipe.
Stuff like that.
A difficult recipe, maybe the time. I mean, put as much information as you can when you send it in and a picture.
No family members.
Oh yeah, no road curl stir fry. Yes,
right.
But there is a great place in Region 7 near Cherry Hill that that has all different kinds of food from all over the world, and they do it's all steaks, like it's Philly cheesesteaks, but they're different things. Like they've got like emu and ostrich, and
ostrich is very nice.
And as much as for the international members, that would be great. Remember, we might not be able to find emu ostrich in central Kansas, so
yeah, fair enough.
I'm not saying don't, because honestly, I would love to see recipes like that, because to me that is a very regional or country recipe.
Right.
I have no problem with any of it. Make sure, and the other thing is, I know people are joking. Whatever recipe you send in, it should be edible. You know, we're not making fun. And I know the committee will go through them, but just make sure this is a real thing.
Recipes,
okay?
No
triple recipes.
Or dog.
It's not food. Okay.
Yeah.
Rattlesnake, we might make the exception. Yeah. But the point is, you know what I mean. This is something that I hope we can do and bring fleet together. Like I said, we all love to eat, and I'd love to see stuff from South Africa. I mean, I've been to Europe. I would love to see something from every region, like someone said about regional dishes. I think that would be great.
Oh yeah, my XO Amy said that we can submit mountain pie tacos. That's a Western PA thing. So
no scrapple.
There's something that's only in. Like,
that's right, Amy. Mountain pie tacos.
But I haven't made yet, and it's like evidently a restaurant. Like there's different restaurants in different parts of the world that are local for like colleges and stuff like that, and the people there know what it is, and like there's special things like this one thing. My XO's like, you got to make this thing, and I can't remember what it's called, but evidently it's an Ohio State or some college or university near here that the restaurant is really popular and everyone knows what it is, but I've never heard of it, and no one in Region 7 has ever heard of it. It never went east or west. It's only here.
Oh, okay.
So there's weird stuff like that all over the world.
Oh yeah.
Somewhere in New Jersey, they have those big pickle sandwiches instead of a bread. Elsie's.
Yeah, it's right near the hotel that they use for the conference in Region 7, and I've seen advertisements for it, and it looks mighty delicious.
I would like to taste that. It's amazing. I mean, I can't imagine a pickle that big, but you know.
Right.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, because I can't eat bread, or I'm not supposed to. And I thought, gosh, that would be good just to.
Yeah.
See if I can find that.
Yeah, it's right in Cherry Hill. I know the restaurant you're talking about.
I'm just glad people are interested in it. This is good.
Well, while we're taking a small little break here, I want to remind everybody that we're always looking for stories, for news, and things like this for Starfleet at large. And just to submit your information, news, everything to starfleetatlarge@gmail.com when you get a chance. And also another reminder that the CQ submissions are coming up. September 15th is the deadline this time for the next edition. Like to see a lot of this in the CQ. I think Dennis would have a ball editing it. He's having a fun time being the editor, first of all. Mostly, we need to keep him and what little staff he has busy. So just get him at I believe it's starfleetcq@gmail.com, and there's Chris behind me.
Yeah.
I need to show the commercial for the IC. So
go ahead.
Okay.
And that will give you all a chance to because we've just ended our first hour. We can go on longer if you all want to go. So let's see. IC22 commercial.
All right.
I'm definitely going.
Okay, Fran has a question for Jeff about the CQ.
I think it would be great to put some of the historic. Every once in a while, they do a version of the written history. And I'm gonna throw something out to add that we do a little tidbit I'd like to call this month in Starfleet, a historical look at what has happened. Like, I've got one concerning Jim for November at Starfleet. He knows what I'm talking about. So, and if you've got something in your chapter you want to recognize, like we were founded on this day and we became a chapter on this day,
okay.
that kind of stuff. We want to hear from you. We only get a little bit tidbits from operations, as you probably have seen if you watched the show. But we want to do more about the members, more about the chapters, and it's really important. I feel that we make them stand out, not just we're a big Star Trek organization, but the members do a lot. And the chapters are the coordination of what the members are. So let's hear it from both and the regions. I'm not going to leave out the regions. The regions have a lot of history too.
Oh yeah.
And our departments and everything. So let's hear it from them. I'm going to work with Ed on this idea and see how it goes. So and the email address again is Starfleet at large. Spell the word at Starfleet at large at gmail.com. The little at symbol between large and Gmail. I'm going on now. So, I know that IC22 is going to be fantastic, especially if we can get there. Everybody to get there. I'd like to see as many of you there as possible. I'm not talking about us, but everybody in the fleet, because we are what we've said we are. We're one big happy family fleet. So there.
Yep. I have one thing that I was going to ask. Now, I'm pretty sure that anyone who bought their membership last year to go to the 21 IC in Tallahassee continues to have that. It rolls over or rolled over.
Mary, you're on. It does roll over, right? I think that's right. That right. I mean, if you paid for 21, you'll get 22. That's automatic. I'm looking at Mary Salmon's Came over here, or Admiral Mary, and just to confirm, yes, it does. It is confirmed. So if you've already bought your tickets, banquet, everything, you're
good to go.
You're set to go. I'm not, so I got to get there, Mary. I've got to get my stuff ready.
I hope we can go, but
yeah, it just all depends on what in the world's going on with COVID.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to seeing Jim and Steve both. It's been a long time since I've seen them in person. And
Sean is in Tallahassee.
We have fun together, don't we, Jim?
Yep.
Yep. So, and I'd like to see all of you come to the fun too. So.
I hope so. It just depends on my parents' health, really.
True. True. Lately, we've had some health issues, mostly from other relatives, but we'll see what we can do to get there.
I was telling the others earlier, my mom is in a bad way right now, and I mean, she can still function and everything, but she has fluid on her brain that's got to be drained off, and so it's made her a little. I tease her and call her a space cadet. And somehow, when she was putting her seatbelt on, she reached behind the hook and pulled that part of the seatbelt forward, and somehow got it over her head. And so here I'm driving down the highway. Dad's on shotgun, and Mom says, "Kim, I'm being choked." I'm like, "What? What's going on?" And she said, "My seatbelt's choking me." And I thought, "Oh, it's too tight. She's exaggerating." And she goes, "No, really, it's choking me." And she was so calm. So I pulled off, and she was holding it because it was tightening up. And I had to call 911, and they cut her out of it.
Oh, wow.
And she was so embarrassed. She started crying. I said, "Mom, you can't help it right now. You're going to be fine." So.
I'm glad she's okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
she just turned 80, so she's getting up there. Yeah. But still, I said, "How did you do that?" Because there really wasn't that much give, but she got it over her head. And that cop, I would have hated to try to cut through a seatbelt. Oh, that's another thing. If you don't have one in your car, get one now. One of those little tools that you can cut your seatbelt in an emergency. Because that cop took a big knife, and it still took him a few minutes to saw through that. And he was a big, young, burly guy. I could see me trying to saw through one. So
there are specific knives for that you can get in like a lot of the flea markets, or you go to those big long malls.
Like hardware stores sell them. Walmart has one that you can break your window. It's got a thing that'll break a window and then cut your seatbelt. So thank you, Margaret. Okay, contact email address for the CQ.
Again, Starfleet CQ at gmail.com.
I will do that.
Okay, that's the contact information. And
I thought I had some on here.
You want to articles about your chapter, articles about members. There used to be a thing about a member they would write about, someone special in the fleet, other than the leadership. We know we're special, but you think there's a special member of the fleet, and submit an article about them.
Is that correct, Jeff? That ticker at the bottom?
Yes, that is correct. I made it wrong one time. I said CQ Starfleet. It's Starfleet CQ. I didn't do it during this show, but it's still starfleetcq@gmail.com. This is the best way to get it to Dennis. You can still get him at cq@sfi.org, but sometimes it don't work, and you can't attach anything. So you can attach things to this address. In other words, if you write the article in Windows and a document, and you send it to him as an attachment, it's probably going to get you at this. He'll probably get it on this address. Same thing with the Starfleet at large. You can send attachments that way too. Videos, we want your videos.
Right? Yeah, you guys played our first promo video for the Western Regional Summit. So
that's right.
Can I send the second one to you guys?
Yeah, send it, Ed.
All right.
So, Ed gets all the information from the Starfleet at large address. I get it, and I designed it to where we both get it.
Right.
So, there. But
yeah, because if you don't tell it, nobody's going to know it.
Exactly.
You promote your chapter, you promote your members,
right?
Your region,
right? And also remember our Facebook pages here, and that it is important not just because it's required, but because of our SF. PDD, is that what you call it, or is it DPB?
SFDP.
Okay. Well, it's important that you answer the questions correctly to the best of your abilities. Like you're required to let us know what your SEC number is. You need to let us know what name you go under on your membership, because that's what we got in the database, and we need your permission. Some people don't give permission. They'll leave that blank. Or they'll give me an SEC number, but no alternate name. In other words, do you have an alternate name? Do you go by Fuzzy Kitten? No, my name is this. Okay, that's what we need. It's a yes on that question, is the name, but it's a no if you don't have it, if it's not different. So that's what we mean, and we're doing it with our mailing lists as well. You have to be a member of Starfleet to be on the business list and the regular list. So that's all I got to say.
I've got to take my that recertification of that.
Yeah, I got to get around to that. Yeah.
It's on the alarm for tonight.
What's the due date for that? What's the due date for the recertification?
It's a year after you took your original one.
Yeah, I'm not past it.
That's when you have to take it. You have to start taking it. Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right, I got to get busy. Yeah.
It's fairly easy. It's fairly. I'll tell you, I've taken it. I know Jim has taken it.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know, Owen, have you taken it yet?
I have, yes, yeah.
Yeah, the second one. Go ahead.
I haven't. No, I need to do it.
I was going to say, everybody who had it before, you need to be they had to be certified every year. So this will be an ongoing yearly thing.
It's on my alarm for tonight. We're going to take it, Tom and I.
It's not that bad, and it's not something that we're decided, oh, we're going to make you do this. We're required by law to do this for anyone who handles information.
Well, if you handle, Fran, if you handle information on the database, yes, but no. Yeah. You're not. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. I would encourage you to do it.
I would do it anyway.
Yeah, I've got crew that took it anyway.
Even if, like, you live in Colorado, Fran, you might have an a data protection policy in Colorado that you don't know about. We include information about that, or we try to. So it would be to your advantage. I'd say everyone should take it. And you never know. You could be chief of communications one day.
Heaven
And he did.
forbid.
Yeah, heaven forbid.
In our chapter, we make sure that anybody who has to do with anybody else's information, like communications department chief, has to have it done. Operations, XO, and CO all have to have it done.
Yeah.
And
all of our department heads and deputies.
Only if
if they have to go to say they need to look up a member of their chapter on the thing, and I don't know. I've been I'm commanding officer for the entire time that I've been on. I have access to the information of my chapter, but my members don't. So if he gives you permission, then you need to know these things, right,
Honestly,
Jim?
Yeah, the best thing to do is always side on caution. If someone's looking anything up, it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't take that long to do it. It's good information. It can have, I won't say real world applications, but because believe it or not, this is very Starfleet centric. There are things that we have to know for the GDPR protection policy, but they were also terming it for ours, like COs, XOs must have it. Whoever handles information. So it's always good just to take it. It's not that bad. You get 2 or 3 more courses from the academy, and who knows, if you ever decide to become a CO or XO or something where you're going to need it, you've already got it. So it doesn't hurt. So
also note, if you are a Starfleet Marine, you are an OIC of a unit or any other structural command, and a DIOC of any structural command, you need to have these taken, and you need to make sure your brigade OIC and or DIOC is aware and has a certificate. So just, you never know if you're going to be on a staff somewhere and have an extra hat. But if you're in the Marines and you're interested in upward advancement, if you're in Starfleet straight up and don't want to do anything with anybody else, still, you can go into any department if you have those taken, and you don't have to worry about taking it later. You can do any job in Starfleet. So just good to have them, you need to have that just so if you get the opportunity and someone says, I'd like you to do something like be on a committee for a recipe book. You can't be on the committee for the recipe book unless you take that course and have a certificate in it, because you get information. You might get some information, but not much. But just like a name, or you might have to proofread or something like that. So,
well, like I said, it's always for anything you're doing in fleet for your fleet career. It's not going to hurt you. I've been in fleet going on 34 years. I take as much as I can for whatever I can, and I want to be prepared. That's just me. I've always done it that way. I have some members who do, they don't want to do anything. Other members who are not even department heads are taking the courses just because they say, hey, if you want to do something, that way they're prepared. If they want to be an XO, if they want to be a department head that handles information, they've got it. I don't have to say, well, you can't be it until you do this.
I just found it amusing that there are some people that don't want to take it just because they're told they have to take it. Well, just take it.
Just get it done and over with.
You wear a Star Trek uniform in public. You can take a test. I mean,
and those of you that are governmental workers, you have to take some sort of DPP.
Oh yeah, every year, Jeff, because I'm a child welfare worker, and every year I have to take a HIPAA, a recertification,
Yeah, so right there, you've got some information from HIPAA. You got information from whether DPP. It might be to your advantage to take this just to know what else is out there.
Yeah.
Right.
So we've had a lot of people complain, I already took a DPP course. Why should I take this? And we tell them it's required if you're going to handle information.
Because
if they've already taken a DPP course, they would know that it's required. So if they're
Right.
asking you that question, I'm skeptical.
Right.
Yes, that there have been people that have done it.
Yeah, I
So-
did hear this last night, what Margaret said here.
Yeah.
And they don't want the chapters to go away, but if you're not going to take it, you have to take it. It's unless we want Starfleet as a whole to go away, we have to be responsible as OICs and COs and XOs and whatever we do to make sure it doesn't.
And yeah, and remember there are huge fines for violations.
Yeah.
And that would be what would sink fleet if we had to pay it.
Right. That would take us out.
Be done. There'd be nothing. It'd be gone.
There are people. I mean, unless you want, like she said, unless you want Starfleet to go away, that's one of the reasons we're doing compliance, just like with logos, for Dennis and his office, making sure everything's in compliance, so we don't get sued, we don't get any kind of unwanted attention from anybody else. For a long time, Fleet and a lot of organizations, and I can remember, you look at some of the very old CQs, we played fast and loose with a copier. Those days are over. Because of what's going on, we're trying to, like I said, myself and Jeff, members of the AB and the EC, our job is to protect Starfleet. The COs and the members below them, that's where you all have fun. You shouldn't have to have anything like that roll downhill. I mean, the COs protect their members. The RCs protect their ships. EC and AB try to protect fleet as a whole.
Valerie, what kind of link for Zoom do you need, honey?
I think she wants to get in on the picture and speak, and it's StreamYard, not the Zoom today.
If that is it, Valerie, I will contact you in a little bit after this is over and tell you how you can be on the next AMA or the one. Oh, that's another thing. I am still having trouble getting people to show up for this.
Yes.
So
it's a lot of fun, folks. Trust me, it's a lot of fun to do this.
It is. So you all pass it on down to your regions, your chapters, whatever, and those of you watching, because it is, I think it just brings us all closer together.
Right.
I mean, Maria and Donna would have just been a name on a email list to me. I wouldn't have known them without meeting them like this. I mean, I'd met Jeff years ago, and James I finally met in person, but he was just a picture on Facebook.
Right.
So it's always going to be on Saturdays, always now. And sometimes Steve can't be here like today because he's sick, but we have enough other EC members and RCs and stuff that can answer your questions. And it's a good way to promote your chapter, your region.
Yes.
Yeah, after dark, that's a whole different animal.
That is a little different.
Well, Fran, I put out that I needed people for August and September, and only 2 people contacted me. So I'll be putting it out again, and with the email address if you want to be a guest, because I want to get booked up through December.
Well, Kim, what exactly are the requirements? I mean, I should say in Fleet, but what requirements are you looking for this? I mean, rank, position, Joe Blow member?
Joe Blow member. Anybody, because everybody has the right to be heard. That's why I don't block anybody on Facebook, because they have a right to be on here. When I advertise for it, they need to see when I'm doing it. So
I know I go because I know she's watching this. I could say I could always ask my lovely wife, who is an ensign in Fleet now.
She could be in, because see, her being a new member, she can give a different view. Plus, she's a Trek fan, and that's what you want to know. You want to get to know people. You want to know their view of how Starfleet looks to them through their eyes versus somebody that's been in it for over 30 years.
But I am not going to volunteer her. I trust me. I'm very good.
Better not.
I know better than to do that.
Right.
But she take a little longer. She still learns. She did take OTSBs, and then is on my chief
and see that's a good example. Right. She's a new member. She's already taken classes. I've got a member and on my crew that I'd like to bring on because he has an interesting life and he has an interesting past, and he has completely passed the whole rest of the ship and taken courses, and he's only been a member for 2 months.
Wow.
I mean, he even took the SFDP, whatever. And I have hopes. I can see him doing his own chapter in the next year. I really can. But you can't drink alcohol on screen, you know.
Right.
And I'd prefer you not eat on screen because people talk with their mouth open and food falls out. You don't have to wear a uniform, but you do have to wear clothes.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
this is no birthday suit.
Right. Yeah, see, I have. But you can't watch your language, and no smoking or vaping.
Right.
No pulling your shirt down and bending over in front of the screen. And all these things are things that have happened. So that's why I'm using them as examples. One guy was in his underwear, got up to go, and he was in boxers, and not the, you know.
Yeah, and if you if you violate any of these, you will be pulled off air. So
right.
So you know, because these are archived, and anybody can see them, and somebody could come across it and go, "SFI, what's that?" And they open it and they go, "No."
Yeah, that's for the best.
Like Owen always shows up in uniform. Always.
I do. Yes. I do love a uniform.
Yeah, looking good, guys.
Awesome. Always spiffy.
We wouldn't know Owen.
Yeah,
because it'd be very hard to get over there. And
Russell said he liked for us to always wear uniforms, and usually I do, because he said it showed respect for your guests that were coming on. But at least wear something Starfleet or whatever, because everybody has a story. Everybody has things they can share.
Right.
So, I remember that. Look what Margaret said.
Oh, wow.
Hey, wasn't that me?
Oh, that's hilarious.
I don't remember who it was, but I remember it happening. Because some of those after darks go on late, or the Ask Me Anything.
Yeah. That's usually when I'm going.
I'm on After Dark much more than I am in here. And, you know, they do allow, because that is after dark, a late night, they have a slightly different set of perspectives. But I still think that the whole, you know, you should have a uniform or some sort of clothing attire on.
Some kind of clothing, yeah.
Yeah, to show you're a fan. And if you know, I've got like a closet full of shirts and stuff and uniforms, and it's nice to wear them. I did have one of the original Marine jackets, but it got in the fire too. It's gone.
Ooh.
I hate that. I had the first female SFMC dress uniform. So gone. Had a skirt. Back in my younger days when I'd wear a shorter skirt, that's long gone too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like After Dark last night, I watched a few minutes, then I thought I have to go to sleep. But yeah, it gets a little rowdier, but it has a disclaimer, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does have a disclaimer.
So
I was standby last night, and I had decided that I wasn't going to be on if Steve showed up. So here I am in the waiting room, and Steve shows up. So I left. Watched it for about an hour, about a half hour, 45 minutes, went to sleep.
So this Saturday should work for everybody except Australia. So we'll have to do, for that region, we'll have to do something special again for them so they can show up. Because
how far in advance is Australia? What's their time zone?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to ask you.
They've got four. They've got 4 time zones. Because when they were on, I had to be on Friday night, and it was like 10:30 to 1:30 for them in the morning.
Oh, wow.
You know, like a.m. to the end up, because they're spread out, and so it took some finagling, but we got them on there, and it was a very good show.
Right.
They had the RC. Greg Mortensen was there. A couple of their COs.
Right. And remember, this is a live show. This isn't. It's not a taped show like Starfleet at Large is. Now, it's available taped. So those of you seeing it, say, 2 weeks from now, we were here 2 weeks doing this. So,
right.
So, yeah, it was so...
Sorry.
Oh, I've got to get out. I need to do that again, because that was, gosh, I don't remember when Australia was on. Last spring? Maybe March? It's been a while. but they're just as important as the rest of us. But
Exactly. Yeah, let's not let time zone prevent that.
Because I've always heard some international members say that.
Flip New York time in Western Australia,
from
Eastern
6.5
Australia.
to 11 hours standard time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go, Jeff.
Oh, wow. Performing?
No
performance here. Sorry.
I mean,
like this is therapy for me.
Yeah.
When Russell first asked me to do it, I was like, I can't do that. I have social anxiety disorder, but I've gotten better, I hope, and so it's good for me.
Right.
So I like it, and I really have enjoyed getting to hear from others.
Oh yeah.
So
we are about an hour and a half into this, so I think it's.
Does anybody have any other questions before we let everyone go? Because Tom keeps texting me, "What's for dinner?" I know what's for dinner. La Coretta. I want Mexican.
There you go.
There's a place here that makes a vegetarian quesadilla. Do not tell anybody I said that. And it is so good. It's got spinach and onions and mushrooms and tomatoes and onions.
Nice.
Who's the Facebook user that's an extrovert that swears?
Who is that?
Type your name.
And then they're quiet.
Yeah. I'll just be glad when I go to a movie again in a theater.
Oh yeah. Oh, Jimmy! Hey, Jimmy! I know Jimmy.
Who's Jimmy?
Jimmy, he is the XO on the Venture, and the Venture is the group that's co-hosting with us for the Western Regional Summit. Hey, Jimmy!
Jimmy.
Bye, Donnie. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming. If y'all have anything else you want to say before we jet off?
It's been really great to be here.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Please, people, if you can participate online or in person on the Western Regional Summit hosted by the USS Venture and Stella Pirata, we would love to have you. September 25th.
Thank you all for visiting. Thank you all for participating in the panel.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Okay.